This is 5 on your side at noon. Focused on you.
We begin today at 4 with damage left from last night's storms. As severe weather moved through the area last night, it caused major hail damage. The National Weather Service says it produced golf ball-sized hail in places. You can see the damage to cars and homes in O'Fallon, Missouri. Up to quarter-sized hail was reported in Warrenton, Hillsborough, and across the river in Madison County. Crews are surveying the damage right now. After dumping heavy snow in Colorado and hail here, that storm system moved across the Midwest. Take a look at this tornado that touched down in Winchester, Indiana last night. Officials there say there are many significant injuries. Officials say 22 homes in the city have been destroyed. And in nearby Selma, Indiana, there are reports half the city's structures are damaged. The Indiana governor says the state's Department of Homeland Security is on the scene to get resources to those impacted. Tornadoes also touched down in Ohio, Arkansas, and Kentucky. The worst hit area, Ohio's Logan County, northwest of Columbus, where at least 3 people died. A sheriff in one of the communities says he expects that death toll could climb. Crews are searching the area for other victims right now. Another storm hit our area earlier in the day yesterday. The National Weather Service now confirming a small tornado hit Lackland Road in Charlock yesterday morning. The agency says the damage is confined to trees, fencing, roofs, and siding. Maximum wind speed was estimated to be 75 miles an hour. It was on the ground for 1 minute. Thanks for being here at noon. I'm Kay Quinn. The storms are now behind us. We can expect cooler conditions right through the weekend. Meteorologist Gary Frank is here with the Weather First forecast.
Yeah, cooler conditions indeed, as much better than it was the last 24 hours. Of course, we had a break yesterday where it was warm and we had a sight like this, but clouds started to build. That's not going to be the case today as that front has moved through. Much quieter conditions. And overall, we actually lucked out despite some of the large hail and some of those tornadoes that we mentioned. Overall, it was actually much worse where we look off to the northeast. Overall, though, things are settling down. You can see once that moved through, we actually got some pretty decent rain in a few spots. We have now since cleared out as that front has moved through and we continue to see those clouds exit. Our wind gust, though, right now somewhere between 15 to 25 miles an hour, sustained winds of about 10 to 15 miles an hour. And we have gusts at 26 in St. Charles, 25 in Alton. Winds will start to settle down over the next several hours as temperatures continue to rise up. We're in the mid-50s here at this moment already, as you can see, that mix of sun and clouds. But that north breeze at 17 miles an hour doesn't provide a wind chill like we had this morning, but still it's going to provide a little bite to the air in comparison to yesterday and into this evening. I still expect us to head for the low 60s. Wind settles down. It's a nicer evening. We'll detail that first tornado survey, what the second one looks like at this moment, and what we can expect for your St. Patrick's Day holiday.
All right, we'll see you in a few minutes. Thank you, Gary. Heavy snow continues to cause huge problems in Colorado. Thousands still without power after several feet of snow fell in the Denver area over the last 2 days. Highways and schools are closed for a second day. Heavy snow stranded drivers on Interstate 70 overnight. The storm began Wednesday night, delivering slushy, wet snow that continued this morning. We're following a developing story in Glasgow Village in North St. Louis County. St. Louis County police say a 13-year-old is in the custody of the family court, accused of shooting a 14-year-old. It happened during a fight among several teenagers Wednesday on Midlothian Road. We're told the victim was grazed by a bullet and taken to a hospital. We've been closely following details of the search for 22-year-old Riley Strain. It's now been a week since the Mizzou student disappeared in Nashville. He was there with friends for spring break, and police say they don't suspect foul play. Strain was kicked out of a bar downtown. Security footage from multiple businesses shows him walking toward the Cumberland River. Law enforcement crews are using drones, helicopters, and boats with sonar to search that area.
So we're utilizing absolutely every resource we can possibly think of at this point. There's no reason to believe that he's been a victim of a crime, and I can't possibly think of any other resource we could utilize that we haven't used or are using right now.
Police are trying to get more data from his phone and Apple Watch. With Mizzou's graduation just a few weeks away, Riley's parents are hoping for the best. It's now been more than a month since a Missouri Western University student from St. Louis disappeared in Kansas City. Montez Hurt was last seen on street camera video February 1st. His grandmother says he called her in some kind of mental distress and then went to a hospital. He disappeared after being released a few hours later. Hurt's family has conducted several searches in Kansas City and handed out hundreds of flyers. New details in a cold case in northern Illinois. Investigators found more than 100 human bones inside a car pulled out of a river in Winnebago County, that's near Rockford. They say the 1966 Chevy Impala may be connected to the disappearance of two men in 1976. A bone discovered inside the vehicle is a femur bone. Investigators hope DNA testing will help with identification.
We have over 100 skeletal remains that we have recovered, but we know that there are many more that are still out there. Whether or not we will be able to recover them is still yet to be seen.
But at this time, we're still working on the fact that it's a missing person's report and no foul play, because there's many theories. Whatever is from the past, if they have any tips, we would appreciate it.
Clarence Owens was last seen driving the car with his friend and business partner Everett Holly. Some personal items were also in the car. Police hope to solve the mystery so the family can have closure. A pediatrician from St. Louis County is in jail today, accused of prescribing former patients drugs in exchange for sex acts or money. Court documents say Dr. Craig Spiegel pressured women to engage in sex acts for money or opioids at his office in Bridgeton, dating as far back as 2014. The DEA says there are 25 known victims so far.
Dr. Spiegel knew that many of the women to whom he was prescribing to, by the way, many of those women were his pediatric patients when they were girls. He knew that they were experiencing very dangerous substance abuse disorders, and he continued to prescribe to them.
The DEA has set up an anonymous hotline for other potential victims. That number's on your screen, 314-240-1026. New at noon, a new St. Louis County Police precinct now honors an officer killed in the line of duty. A ribbon cutting was held about 2 hours ago. The building on Gravois Road is dedicated to Officer Blake Snyder, who died after being shot while responding to a disturbance in 2016. He was 33 years old. Still ahead, can public officials block people from social media? The Supreme Court chimes in on the issue. Plus, a legal hit for Donald Trump. The judge's ruling about his case in Georgia.